Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to BoxerGaming and Kerbal. Yes, we're back. Haven't played it in a while. It's been about about a week, I guess. And like I mentioned last episode, we want to get something in orbit around Kerbin, which is not a problem, as we've done that before. So at the moment, just give you a refresh, we've got Moon Punch is still there. He's a bit helpless. And then we've got another Moon Puncher there. So we might actually want to cancel this flight. That's the right one, isn't it? Yeah, let's just cancel that one. Just got some debris around Kerbin, that's fine. Right, so that one is still going. It's been there for quite a while. 2 days, 1 hour and 1 minute. It's got no food, no drink, nothing. Perfect. Right, so let's build a very simple rocket. Now, I'm not going to edit any of this out because it's quite simple. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna get a space station core into the world. So this is a stock one, so if you just install the game you get this one for free. It's got some solar panels, it's got some capsule for Kerbinites to be in, and it's got this docking port here, 4-way. Not 4, sorry, 6-way. So all we do is let's see, we need to have a separator, I reckon. Chuck that right there, so we can eject everything, because this is the only part we want to have to keep in space. Actually, I might want to. Should we keep a rocket on board there? Maybe not. No. So let's see. Propulsion, no. What we want to do is get one of these babies on there. Now this is an unmanned sort of thingy, and then from there we can just chuck anything on there we want. Now, do we need RCS? Well, probably. Probably. Now this thing is never going to come down to Earth. I'll just know that already, so I'm not going to bother with parachutes. So we've got this unmanned thing, so that's instead of having people in there. So we're not going to have RCS, that's what I reckon. Now, I do want to have a little bit of a rocket on here, maybe. I know that looks absolutely ridiculous, but don't worry, that should be okay. And then we're gonna get something on there, maybe these ones, and we're gonna get 3 of them, just like that. And also, what we want to do is get a rocket engine. The one of vectors, no, this one. Yeah, vectoring enabled, so that we can steer it a bit without using flaps or anything. SAS unit. SAS. I told you it's gonna look a bit silly. That's okay. We can use some struts to make it a bit more stable. Now we can do a couple of things. I reckon we're just gonna use small engines. Maybe we can try that. Yeah, you can try that. Let's see. We chuck some of no, not the vectoring ones. These ones on there. Now, 3, would that be enough? I reckon. Now, because cost is not an issue, and I'm not really bothering with trying to make very cost-efficient engines just yet. We might do that later on. We're just gonna chuck a massive rocket on there because why not? We've got whoa. What's that do? We've got unlimited money, so we might as well. Right. Put some of these massive engines on under there. Oops, what am I doing? There we go. Now let's get some struts out and sort of connect everything well together. Second page. Right, so you should all be familiar with these. These sort of hold the rocket together, and they're on symmetry mode, so it's nice and easy. There we go. Now you can also do that with this. It's actually not a problem with falling off later on. And also what I'd like to do is just zoom in, if I can remember how to. Yeah, with shift. And just connect these together as well. That will help a bit. Now, again, because money is not an issue, what we're going to do is we're going to put some of these babies on there. Maybe one there. This is like a this thing could go to the moon and back. Actually, go a lot further than the moon probably. And here we're going to put some of these. Now, that's just because why not? You know, you might as well be safe and make sure we get there. They're a bit high up. It's better. A bit lower. Right about there, I reckon. Yeah, I'll do. Now I put some aerodynamic noses on these. I did actually find out that there's another one that we can use. But I'm not sure where it is now at the moment. Yeah, I might well just use these aerodynamic cones. Put them on there as well. And that should be pretty hunky-dory. Now let's see. We want all these to fire at the same time. We also want these main engines here to fire at that time. Then we separate the solid rocket fuel boosters, and then we... Oh crap. Crap. I'll put the coupler there. Whoopsie. Thought I missed something. There we go. Easy enough fix though. So after we do all that, we want to have an extra stage where we then... Whoops. These are a bit annoying. Okay. So first we get rid of these, then we get rid of this bottom part. Then we start these engines, I reckon. Yep. Then after that, we need to separate those engines. So what we're going to do is move this here. Actually, hang on, I'm doing it wrong. This has to go there. That should go there. Okay, let's launch. 6 minutes, not bad, not bad. Now, please don't crash. Holy, what did I create? Right, so we're gonna go far away. That's just gonna make a lot of noise. Now, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we have liftoff. No, is it stable? No, it's not stable in any way. That's fine. That's fine. We don't care. Engines overheating. We don't care about that either. We are daring. Now, I should have probably have added some wings to this. So this is not stable at all. I did this once before. I made it completely different, much simpler. I didn't have any big engines, just some small ones, and that worked just fine. As you can see, we're already at 5,000 meters up with a surface speed of 280 meters a second. So we're not even done with our solid fuel boosters. So yeah, we're gonna get into space. I can guarantee you that. Now I just turn my RCS on, which I don't have, so that will work out just fine. Let's get rid of these, which will make us even more unstable. But that's alright, we're already at 15,000 meters, that's great. Very good job. Now you can see I'm swirling around, so probably I'm not going to be on a perfectly nice angle, but that's okay. That's okay. Right, so let's get rid of these engines as well, and watch us wobble now. This is going to be hilarious. Oh, without RCS this is very difficult because we don't have those engines on there that can help us steer. But I'm hoping that once we get to vacuum, which we are almost in already. Now 150 is a pretty nice orbit. We might just cut it off here. We've got plenty of fuel left. We might not even use the last rocket, to be honest. Now Bob and Bill both not very happy. We need Jebediah back. He's always been a bit more of a daredevil, but these two are just not my kind of people, you know. Right, so let's speed it up a bit. Whew. One of my favorite features in KSP, of course. Now, what we're gonna want to do is we don't want to go up anymore. So 169. Well, we can go a little bit up, so we can start a little bit before the apoapsis. And what we're going to do, I'm trying to steer, by the way, you can't see, but I'm trying. It's just, should have put some wings on this or some RCS units, that will make a big difference. Thankfully, we don't need to maneuver with this thing later on. So we're pretty much at the apoapsis. So we're going to give power pretty much to the horizon, a bit up still. So this is going to grow very slightly, hopefully, in a bit, not yet. And once we pick up some speed, I'm hoping we go a bit up. But either way, 169 orbit is just fine for our purposes. Actually, I do want to go up a bit. It just makes catching this station a bit easier later on. So I'll just hang it steady here, maybe a bit more on that line. There we go. Yeah, the apoapsis is going up now, and that'll go up faster and faster and faster. Eventually I'll have to level out. I actually might have to do that already, because else it's going to be at about 450 before we go on orbit, which is not what we want, to say the least. Now, See, it's already pulled out to 177. That's it's not too bad. We'll still move that up a little bit, I reckon, because we're still moving up. Actually, I ran out of fuel. That's why it stopped. I was thinking that's something weird is going on. Right, so that should be growing quite fast again. I'll stop once it's about, I don't know, maybe 250 or so. And then we should also have a decent orbit, not straight up, but a decent orbit. At least so that we don't crash into the Earth anymore. So that's 200 already. Now let's go a bit further. See, this is going out as well. That's pretty good. 300 will do. So now we're going to speed up. And we're going to go in a circle till we get to the apoapsis. Or at least close to it. Now you can see my SAS is on, but it's not doing bugger all. So that's at 140 and that's at 300. So that's definitely not straight, as you can see. Now steering is a little bit easy now because we're in a vacuum, so that's good. So we're just going to give it a bit more power, and that will push this one out, hopefully. Well, not hopefully, it definitely will do that. We just have to wait till we're past this point, else we push this point further away again, and we're just going to go higher here, which we don't want. Speed it up a little bit, and are we T-minus 6 seconds, 5 seconds, 2, 1, and now we can fire up our engines. Now as you can see, we're not really at that line because the SAS is going a bit mental. Whoa, I'm giving it way too much power. That's 305 by 315. That's perfect. Right, we're there. So what I want to do really is, even though we've got, actually we'll keep the fuel in there. Why not? Why not? Now we can extend these little solar, and they're very cool. If you haven't seen that before, they're very, very nice. There you go. There's only 2 on this apparently. I thought it was more. Last time I made my own docking station, but it's pretty much the same thing. And as you can see, these things actually move towards the sun all the time, which is very cool. It's just a little feature, you know. Look at that beautiful shot. It's nice, isn't it? Beautiful. Right. So we go escape Space Center. Go back here. We just launched this, so we don't want that. We might have to go with the Moon Puncher, maybe. Except for the fact that this has a small capsule here, which I'm not fond of. It should be a bigger one. Yeah. Now what we could do is just put a big one on there, but that's going to look ridiculous. So we could use a stock Kerbal 10, which you get, but it's I don't know, it's a bit weird. I'm not a big fan of it, to be honest. It doesn't have RCS and all that. So let's build one from scratch, shall we? We'll try to be fast. So first of all, the docking station that we need to attach to this rocket is quite big, so we need to start with a bigger top as well. Well, we don't need to, but it's easier. Right, and then we go to utility, where usually we get this parachute, but this time we're going to get this Clampotron shielded docking port, and that goes on top, and you can actually open this in flight, so that's kind of easy. Now apart from that, we would like to have a brand new coupler and a SES module. Would be nice as well. Why is that not filmed there? It does. So that's the advanced SAS, as you all know. I'm just going to move through this fast. You all know this, but it's still, I haven't made this yet on my channel. So let's put some of these on. Now we're going to put a few more of these RCS units on because it's kind of important. Because we're going to need to use a lot of RCS. So one of these is enough with a Poodle liquid engine, and then we go to RCS units again, and we put 4 more there, just like that. Right. Actually, I've never used this, which is kind of interesting. I should do that research. It's just apparently very cool. Now, apart from that, I've made this before in a similar way, not exactly the same, but a similar way, and I used 4 of these, where I did the small engines. Now they helped a little bit. They're not great, but they do help a bit. And I mainly use those for the last little bits. So aerodynamic nose. I don't know if you can hear it, by the way, but it's raining outside. It hasn't rained for probably about 6 weeks, whilst this is the rain season usually. But now it finally started raining, so we're not getting the 40 degree anymore, hopefully. Right, so some vectoring rockets there to help us get into course a bit easier. And then we're going to do something very similar to what we did before. So we're going to have these stack decouplers here. We're going to have these under it. Then we're going to have the massive tanks under that, just like that. We're going to connect all this together. Don't forget, with struts, this will make a big difference. If you see your rocket sort of flabbering about, as I call it, you probably will, this will help you. So there we go. We could even connect this straight to the base. They will snap off when it decouples. So that's nice. So now, as always, oh, we got some big engines under there, and which we're gonna do what is becoming my staple, which is probably not a good idea, but I do it anyways. Is we're gonna put some solid fuel rocket boosters on there. Now, I promise eventually I will stop using those, and I'll really get into efficiency factor, but at the moment I just want to play around with everything and see what everything does, really, you know. So this is one of the nicest ways you can do that. Is that kind of equal? Yeah, kind of. Now I really miss my other nose cone, which I'm pretty sure was in aerodynamics, but I can't find it anymore. This was going on top of that afterwards, but where is that thing? I was using it all the time. That's very annoying. That is, oh, there it is. But that's not it, is it? No, that's not it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We'll use these ones. There we go. Now should we put some wings on this? That's the big question, isn't it? This is a monstrosity, by the way. It has so many parts for such a simple purpose. Should we put some wings on this? I don't think so. We've got vectoring engines here for this stage. We've got vectoring engines here. We've got RCS units for the last stages, and we've got a pull engine which can vector as well, I believe. So I think it's fine. Let's make sure this is right. So these are the solid rocket fuel boosters. Okay, this is already wrong. These need to be in the same, so we want to detach all of these at the same time. We also want to start the main engines at the same time as the solid fuel. Then we decouple the solid rocket boosters, then the main engines, which is good. Then we start these small engines, which is good. Then we detach them, also very good. Then we fire the little engine here, and then eventually we decouple when we want to land. Now that's all perfect. The only thing we're missing, and that's why it's good that you go through it, is a little parachute. Now the main reason I'm looking for stuff, I can't find it anymore, is that actually there's way too many. I used to be playing on 1080p, and now it's still 4. Okay, we'll do 4. Is that I was using 1080p and then everything is on one page, and now it's only 2 pages, so that's why I'm a bit lost sometimes, so please forgive me that. Right, I'm pretty happy with this. We'll call this the fat docker, because docker, because I reckon that's what she is, really. And I call it's a she, obviously. You know, look at a figure, that has to be a she. Right, launch it. Now, I'm not a pro at this. I've done it only once, literally once, and that went very laboriously. But you know, I'm still learning, so I thought that's kind of enjoyable, maybe. So let's look at our map for a sec. Where are we? There. So our space station core is there at the moment. Now the ideal would be if we get behind him just a little bit. Failing that, it doesn't really matter because we can speed up time. But if you really want it to be proper about it, that's what I would recommend. So actually we can do that a little bit. So we just warp time a little bit. Wait till he gets maybe around here, and then we can start launching, because in the time it takes us to get off the ground, he'll probably get past us, I would imagine. So maybe a bit further. Come on, you slow thing. Now again, this doesn't really matter. It's just, you know, a stylistic thing. I think, I guess the most efficient way would be to do it this way, but I'm not very, I'm not like that. All right, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lift. Now, this thing is bloody heavy. Sorry for the noise, but for a simple thing, as in going to a little space station around Kerbin. This is overkill times million. Also, the more you put on of these, the less effective they actually are, because they only say they can support their own weight plus 10% or something, but when you put more and more of them, they actually support so little extra. So, you know, it's not the most efficient way, but I just want to do these things first before we really start looking at making it more efficient, which we definitely will do eventually, because that's cool, you know, making the smallest rocket possible. It still does everything you want. So we will look eventually at the atomic rocket and stuff, which is very good in vacuum, so in space. That looks beautiful, by the way. Look at that. So we're already getting pretty damn high, so we want to sort of already tip over quite a bit. And we're going to do the exact same thing as with the space station core. It's just that this will go a little bit faster, because pretty much we're not carrying anything except pure fuel and thrust. So, oh, careful. Oh. Always does this because my ship is not completely stable, which is not very good. That's okay, we've got RCS now, so... Right, so we're already going at an angle. We're at 34,000 meters at the moment, and we're going up to 70. Now, ideally, I would want to get up to about 150,000, maybe. So I don't mind using all these 4 engines. They can go to hell. I don't need them anymore. I just need this little one. That's all I need to rendezvous. So we're going pretty well. We're going to do the same thing here. So we're going to get as high up as we can, but already at an angle, because else it's going to be very difficult to change course. And then when it's around 150 maybe, we stop all engines and we speed up to the apoapsis, and then we do an exact horizon course, and then that will push us out to 150 on both sides. So I should probably have zoomed out a bit, because that noise is annoying. Like the music is so low, and I've already got the engine sound down to about 2%, and the music is at 40%. So I don't know why it's still that loud. It's a bit annoying. Right, so we're getting to the 150-ish zone. There we go. So let's speed up a little bit. It's fairly easy with RCS, of course, to get to the horizon with this little thing here. I'm actually not even using, because I've got this ship is a bit easier to wheel, so I'm not using any RCS. Now we will use a lot of RCS to meet up with the space station, at least for someone like me who's pretty much a noob in this. So let's see how we can do. There we go. That'll do us. Now let's get right on the horizon. That is perfect there. That's pretty much perfect. So this shouldn't go up, shouldn't go down either. Now we will be moving down a bit. So as you can see, I should have started this a bit earlier, and then actually you don't really get on this downward line. But either way, we're going to be fine. This will eventually sort itself out, I reckon. How much fuel have we got left? Okay, we're almost done. That's what we need to keep an eye on. That's the moon there, right? It's beautiful. It's that beautiful. Okay, so we get rid of these and start a little poodle engine, which is absolutely awesome. And as you can see, I'm still going up a bit. I'm not. Whoa, RCS. Whoa. I'm so light now. And I've got double the RCS, so that's a bit insane. Right. So 150. That's still good. I'm happy with that. And now we just wait. Cool. Now, docking with another ship, it's all about patience and RCS control, and I have neither. I am a very impatient person, and my RCS control is, I mean, it's getting there, but I haven't played nearly enough to be good at it per se. So yeah, that's interesting. Now this is still going out, which I'm not a big fan of. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to burn towards the horizon a little bit. I hope that might help a bit, but I might have to fix that a little bit, because this is not what I wanted. This is not what I wanted at all. What am I doing? I'm messing it up. Anyways, we need to get a bit higher actually. So actually we should stop burning that way. We should just burn this way. Now this will be a very weird orbit. Now that'll do. Now we're gonna call this an orbit, okay? Because it matters, but it's okay. So what you want to do is you click on that and you say set on. Oh, that's debris. We don't want to do the debris. We want to go to the where's my space station? Oh, there we go. And you click set as target. Now you can see these lines. Now that's the descending node, and that's the ascending node here. So that means at this point the space station core will go further up than us, which is true, and here the space station core will get closer to us, so it'll be descending towards us. Now, the cool thing about this is that anytime these two lines overlap, and I'll show you that in a waypoint, or in a maneuver, so I'll just call it waypoint. Now, as you can see, at this point here, we're so close that it's called an intersect. Now, it doesn't have to exactly overlap, but it has to be pretty close. As you can see, intersect 1, separation 500 kilometers, which is insane. And we'll get there in T-minus 24 minutes if we take that maneuver. And this is the target position at that intersect. So once we are here, he'll be behind us. Now, we don't want that. We want to be preferably behind him. That would be easier. But the best thing is to be exactly equal. Now, one thing we can do is just try this, you know. Give it some extra speed and see how close we can get. Now, at intersect 2 here, it's hard to see, isn't it? The separation is 50 kilometers, but we get into this really weird orbit, which I'm not too happy about. Now, we also got another intersect here, but we'll be 400 kilometers in front of this ship, so we don't want that. So that's not going to work. Okay, so let's cancel this waypoint, and we can just try the waypoint a bit further down the line. Now, there is proper ways of doing this. So, for example, only do it at your periapses, you know, etc. But you know, we're not working within the limits here at the moment because you know we've got plenty of fuel left. Let's just find out here again. What's the 500 separation? That's way too much. So if we speed up a bit, you can see that we're getting pretty close here. 26 kilometers separation. Now that is pretty nice. That's not bad. Oh, now it's 44, so we have to go a bit slower again. You just sort of find the best sort of thing. Now, that doesn't have to be perfect, because we're going to have to do this a couple of times, although it does get easier if it comes. 24 kilometers. Let's see what that does. 23. 22 kilometers. That'll do. I'm happy with that. Now, will he be in front of us? Not really. He'll be pretty much right under us. That'll do as well. Right. So our waypoint is in 4 minutes, so what we're going to do is maneuver over to that waypoint. If we can find it, that'll be nice. There we go. So, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Now, this is a thing that you'll have to repeat all the time, and the better you get at it, the less you have to do it. Now, as usual, I'm not very good at this, so I'm going to have to do this a few times, but it goes faster and faster. Now, we can speed up to that point. Which is about here, and then we can power up the engines for a little bit. Now this will start moving, and once it does, that's a bit annoying, but it generally doesn't really change your course all that much. I can sort of help it along a bit, but in the end, so you see it just goes away. Now we are now on this new blue course. Now you can see we go around him. Our first intersect is here, but he'll be way behind us, so that's why we go around a bit. Once we intersect again, or almost intersect here, our separation will be 19 kilometers. Pretty nice. So let's speed up time a bit. And this is what you'll have to repeat. So you speed up time till you get to that intersect point. And once you get there, which we're getting there, we're going to be a little bit faster. Now, once you get there, you want to stop and have the exact same speed as the space station core. Now you'll notice once we get closer to the target here, or you click on this, you can do that as well. This will change, and instead of telling you the speed of your orbit, it'll tell you the speed in relative to the space station core, so relative to your target. Now all you do then is you have to figure out why am I not we stop time a bit, please. Very annoying. I don't know if that's a bug or if I'm doing something wrong, but I can tell you it's quite annoying. Fat Docker. Right, so now I also lost my target, which is very annoying. No, that's the debris. Unset target, space station core. No, what the? That is so annoying. I don't know why it does that. See, it says that, but that's a completely different orbit. See, that's what I want. Okay. So we're almost getting to this intersect point. So again, what we want to do is we want to equal out our speed. So which means we want to go exactly the same speed as he is going at. Now that's not that difficult. We just have to figure out, and I haven't found a good way of doing this. I probably can't read this correctly, but as far as I know, all we do is we fly backwards a little bit and see if that makes this go down, because we don't know if we're going faster or slower than him. But at this moment we're going faster than him, because if we go slower, he goes better as well, like this goes. Now this is a bit tricky because I'm going so much faster than him. It's a bit weird, but normally you wouldn't go this much faster than him, so we wouldn't have to burn this much fuel, which is a bit insane. Oh, that's okay. So all we do is we want to equal out this speed. So this has to be as close to 0 as we can get it, which cost me a lot of fuel this time. But that's only really once, maybe maximum twice if you messed up like I did. Right, so we're getting pretty good. Now we want to make sure that we do this so that we don't waste any extra fuel. So we want to keep this in a circle here. Right, so we've cut all power. We're now going almost... let's give it a bit more power. Right, so we're going almost the same speed as him. Now, what we want to do is we want to move towards him. And we do that very simply by just going here. Actually, is that the back? Hang on. Oh, God. Yeah, so we go towards him just very slowly. And we make the separation as short as possible. Now, there's two intersects here. This one is 100 kilometers, so that's not good. This one's already 14. You can see the further we go towards him, which is this little pink thing here, the further we go towards him, the closer we're going to get here, until eventually it's going to go up again because we'll shoot past him. So 9 kilometers, pretty good. 8, go a bit more power maybe. 6, 5, 4, it's still going down. This is pretty good actually. 3, 2. Now you can do this a bit slower than this. What this does is waste more fuel because you're really going to shoot past him at a point, so you're going to have to give extra gas. You're going to have to burn extra fuel, but that's okay. We have enough fuel, I reckon. So we're going to go a bit faster even. See, we're at 2 kilometers, 1.9, 1.8, 1.7, 6, 5, 4, and that'll do it, I think. We're not going to get much closer than this. Cool. So as you can see, now our orbit is like this, because you remember we were a bit up, so it sort of made us reach that point again. And that is very good, because what we want to do is once we get to that point, we want to equal out our speed again. Now we're going faster than him because we're burning towards him. That means we're probably going faster than him. So we want to put our SAS on here, right about there. Yeah, that'll do us. We want to speed up time a little bit till we get to that point, which I just missed because of the stupid thing, but still that's fine. Now we're going to equal out our speed again. Equal out our speed again, so that we hopefully are going at the same speed and also in the same orbit. Already you can see if I zoom out, our orbits are pretty much aligned, which is exactly what we want. Now you see these still go out of each other. That is fine. That is not a problem whatsoever. As long as we go around about the same speed as him. Now you can see it going up again, so that means we went a bit too far. Right, so now you know the drill. Here, on him, and we can see this is the close at the moment, 3.1, and we don't touch anywhere else. We give this a bit of speed. 2.9, 2.8, 2.7, 2.5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, give it a bit more speed maybe. See, we are now we will be 1 kilometer away. That is pretty damn awesome. 0.9, 0.8. Now that is not enough yet. We're not close enough yet, but we will be very soon. And supposedly we should be able to pretty much see him there. We can't see him yet, but pretty damn close. So again, we repeat this process. We speed up time till we get to this point, we slow down, and we match our speed. You can see our shape is already getting better as well. Right, so we're pretty much there now. I didn't do this yet, so I'm going to be a bit late, but that's okay. We're not going to lose much from this. We want to give backburn again because we're going way faster. This might actually be a problem that I didn't do this earlier. Right, so we burn against. Ready, 70. Now these two should start to align very closely now as well. You can see this goes down from 20 and it keeps going down now. Whoa, whoa, where are you going? Stop, 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 stop. Right, intersect here, 1 kilometer, and we haven't even started burning. So we matched our speeds pretty well, not completely, but pretty well. And now we burn towards him again. Now we do it very slowly because you can see we're very close already. Now what you want to aim for, as far as I know, is about 300 meters. It's pretty safe, so you don't crash into each other, and you can see each other. That'll be a big help. Now one thing I didn't do is add lights to my ship, which is a bit of a problem. Now 0.3, 0.2, perfect. Now what we're going to do is, well, first of all, now it's right in front of us, you see. We're also going pretty much, we're looking at the place where we're going, so we're going to rapidly crash into him. So as always, once we get closer, we fire backwards so that we match our speed, and then we can sort of hover around 300 meters from him. Now you don't have to be on the map to do this because you can see we're pretty close. So from here we can probably manhandle it. Maybe not completely, but we probably will get very close. Now we're just going to burn up because we want to go the same speed as him. So a bit more. And a little bit more maybe, because I think we're still getting closer. No, actually we're going away, so we have to burn towards him a little bit. Towards him. Where's towards him? Should be here. Yeah, there we go. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm wasting so much fuel and stuff here. More difficult doing this on camera. So you can see we're closing in, and this is going to close in fast. So you want to be very careful with the power you give. 9 meters a second doesn't seem like much, but we are actually going to crash into him very soon. So instead of talking about it, I should probably stop myself before I do. Right, so we're going to stop ourselves very, very gently. So 0.5 meters. So we're still going away from... Yeah, we're going away from him, which I prefer not to. I'd prefer to go towards him a little bit. So maybe give us a little bit of a push. Right, there we go. I'll do a bit of a push. See, that is too much. Now comes the interesting part. I'm just going to do this myself for now, because I want to do this. Alright, we're pretty much not moving away from him anymore. So, what I'll do is I'll end the episode here, and next episode we'll actually do the final maneuver. We'll get close to him. That might take a little bit. And we're going to dock as well. And now that's my weak spot. So if you want to see me crash the space station, probably next episode is the way to go. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you later.